Hold on for a second, guys. Hey, fam. I know y'all might laugh at me when I say this, but excuse me for looking like some shit today. Excuse my French. Hey, how you doing, Dr. Turner? I mean Ninja Turtle. I'm sorry. Child. Ugh. If y'all just coming in, can you please push the like button? And if you haven't been subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe. Hey Joshua. Hey Chef. Hit Dice. How you doing, fam? Hey Sunflower. What is this name? Okay. Hey Glenn. How you doing, Glenn? I'm trying to figure out this other name. I'm just gonna call you Ib. How you doing? Hey Anthony. Well, we about to have a little discussion. Well, actually not discussion. Um I'm sorry to hear that. Hey Cat, Fluffy, you're more welcome to come in. Um I'm not gonna say well, we can have a discussion and I have a topic today. I don't know if you noticed the topic that I had up there when you first came in, but um well when you first come in, it should have told you what it's about. The topic is messy. That's my topic for today. It's messy. It's okay. It's okay. My basically my page is all about uplifting and spiritual and positive vibes only. And basically it's supposed to uplift you when you in the morning or you down, and you more welcomed to come here. But the topic today is gonna be about messy people on this earth that you're gonna come across in life. And in my personal experience, I came across one. Um Might as well say today I came across one. But I'm about to, get into detail about messy people. How can I put this? You're going to deal with messy people that is going to spread lies about you and shame your name down because they don't got nothing else better to do with their life but just to bring you down in the mud. Um and they also the definition of haters because they see, yeah, bullying you. No, they're not bullying me, but let's just say they threw my name in the mud and I realized that people have a tendency of claiming that they had your back, but they really didn't, you know. But I mean, I might as well go ahead and tell you my story so y'all can understand how messy people can be. I used to work for a company, maybe about, it was in 2000, January 2022. I used to work for this company. Um, when it hit to January 2023, I was there when my mother had passed away because that's when I was working there, that's when I had found out my mother had passed because I was off on a Pacific day. And at that time, I was going through a whole lot of emotions and I was crying and I didn't know how to deal with, the death of my mother at the time. Thank you, Sunflower. So I was out of work for maybe about 2 weeks. And during that time when I was working at this specific company, I don't want to say the company's name because I don't want to, get in trouble. But it was a Pacific company that I used to work for. And it was a Pacific, it's okay. And with that Pacific company, it goes through the government. So that's why I'm not stating the company's name. And I used to work for a person that was my manager at the time. And at that time, I was still going through grieving states of dealing with the fact that my mom died, dealing with the emotion that she was no longer here, dealing with the emotions how to maintain my family and working and everything like that. Okay. Um it was times that at the job that management have a tendency of nitpicking with you. And at that time, I was still going through my emotions. My anxiety was going up. My self-confidence was down. I just didn't know who to trust really at that time. So it was like I was going through, a whole lot of emotions at the time. And sometimes when you deal with death, you're going to deal with it in weird ways. You're going to have your anxiety going to go up. You're going to be emotional and stuff like that. Whoever's just coming into the chat room, please make sure you put up the thumbs up and also make sure you subscribe. Hey, Coffee No Cream. The topic today that we're going to be talking about is messy. And I was in the middle of the story telling everybody what was going on. So I was going through a whole bunch of emotions and having issues with trusting people and stuff like that once my mother had died. And then it got to a point that my manager would nitpick with me. Both of them. The one that I was going to tell you about, I'm going to just say his name is K. I'm going to say K. I'm not going to say his name. His name is K. I'm going to say K. K had a tendency of nitpicking with me. And then it was another person her name started with an E, so I'm gonna say E. She had another thing with nitpicking with me as well during that time. But then she was also a narcissist as well. And people that would be narcissists and stuff like that, they have a tendency of nitpicking with you. And then if you going through that soft spot of losing a loved one too, and you still in the mourning stage, they're gonna find some type of ways of basically trying to get you off your game, trying to find some way to try to fire you. They do different things, because like I said, during that time, that was still fresh when I had lost her. You know what I'm saying? So, while I was still at the Smithsonian, things was coming up, but then I was still in my mourning stage and stuff like that. And it got to a point that stuff was so bad at that job that I got to a breaking point, because the manager, she was just doing so much and just made me feel like I was losing my mind. Because also too, when you in the grieving process, you go through that phase, like I said, that you can't really trust people. And you feel like you could trust people, but then you really can't. And then people hit you on a vulnerable state of, with you, it's what's the word I'm looking for? They catch you at that vulnerable spot of grieving. And that's when people that's a narcissist and don't have no well-being with you want to see you fail and want to see you, not do what you're supposed to do. And then I also had an employee that nitpicked with me because she would go back and go to the manager and tell the manager that I did this and I did that. And I got so mad with her that at one point I wanted to beat her up, to be honest with you. And I mean the company that I used to work at, it was fully messy people at the time. And when it was so messy the way that it was, I was so busy trying to find another job to get up out of there because that manager was being so mean to me and being so, just I'm gonna just say mean. With her doing all the things that she been doing to me and stuff like that, I got to a point that I couldn't deal with all of that anymore because I was already going through a grieving state with my mom being gone. And my emotions was taking over and stuff like that. So I really didn't know, what to do at that time. So when I finally had found a job, I have gave them my 2-week resignation. And then when I gave, hello, how you doing, E? Oh, I'm sorry, Pooh. How you doing, Pooh? You just caught in the middle of my story about people being messy. So when I actually had found a job, um, I gave the person my 2-week notice and told them that I didn't tell them that I had found another job, but I told them that I had too many things that I had to deal with dealing with my home because really you really don't have to give a company a 2-week notice, but it's better for you to give them a 2-week notice than just leave and don't give them, some type of, you know, respect. But then come to find out, I found out later that she went into the office, spoke to her manager, told them that she was leaving the company, and I didn't know that at the time. But I know at that time I wanted to leave because the people the people that work for the company makes the company look bad and make it look messy. So I felt like I was in an environment that I couldn't tolerate all the nonsense that I was going through at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I had chose to leave. And then when I went to my other job, the job was okay, but it was another conflict, that happened with that job. So it was a rough year for me that year when I lost my mother, because when you had that anchor that was in your life for a long time, okay, and she had your back regardless of anything, you know what I'm saying? Um, when you lose that support, it's like your life is like all over the place. You know what I'm saying? It's all over the place. And it was a lot of jobs that I had, but some of them didn't work out because you go through a phase in your life that you try to find your niche. And I found my niche. My niche is working with people in retail. And I've been doing my niche is basically working customer service and retail. And I've been doing customer service between 16 to 18 years. So that's my niche. That's what I love to do. And when I finally decided to want to come back to Smithsonian to give it another try, now this is really going to get y'all. The people that used to work for the company that I used to work for, the management that they used to have there, they're no longer there no more. But the one particular manager, which was K, okay, because remember, first he was my manager, and then they switched managers around, and then the E was the next line of my management, because it was something she was doing. She was doing so much sketchy stuff. It was just ridiculous. So she was a big old mess. Okay, but we're not gonna talk about her. That's a different time, different story. And so K, he was my manager, but he was my reference from working there because he's the only manager that was left at that location. So when I had applied for that job and applied at every other job at the company that I used to work for, I never got calls back. And I didn't know why I didn't get no calls back. Because they had in the system that I was rehireable. Whoever is coming into the chat and to my live, can you please push the thumbs up and push subscribe? My name is Pretty Heart Conquer. How you doing today? If you're just coming in. And they had it in the system that said I was rehireable. But I'm going to tell y'all what this man did. Y'all going to really think he was messy. With one of the locations that I applied to try to get back into the company that I was in before, they interviewed me at one of the locations. Okay. And I was trying to figure out why she didn't call me back. So I tried at another location. I didn't get no reply back for that. Because I didn't know what was going on. Because like I said, the last I was told, I was rehireable. So I didn't know what was going on. But then a girlfriend of mine I spoke with today had told me something that devastated me. She told me that my old manager, K, that managed me, when they would call there and ask for a reference, he told those people that I was a sweet person. but he gonna tell them that I was mentally unstable. I'm gonna repeat that again. This is the same guy that was telling me I know how it feels to lose a mom. I've been down that road. I miss her every day. You gotta stay strong. This is the same person that said this to me. I'm gonna repeat it again. The people that I was applying for that company, when they would call him to ask for a reference, he told these people that I was a sweet girl, but I was mentally unstable. Now, y'all tell me if that's not messy. And when my girlfriend told me this, I didn't know what to think, because this was the same man that told me, that see you later, Anthony. But yeah, but that happened to me. And for me to find something like that out, it was devastating. It was devastating because I never thought that a person would do that to another person. And especially if they was going through something at the time and was still in mourning of their parent. And then you also gotta remember too, if you sitting there just constantly nitpicking with somebody and they going through, an emotional state like that, what do you expect the person to do? You constantly nitpicking with them, you constantly doing this, you constantly doing that. I mean, how do you expect the person to act? When a person is going through a mourning like that, you supposed to support them. You supposed to have a support system around you and people to tell you that, um, we here for you. We got your back. If you need anything at all, we're here. Not exactly. But then you gonna throw my name in the mud and say that I'm mentally unstable? Do you know what I told my girlfriend on the phone? I said, well, Dave, if I'm mentally unstable, you need to go ahead and call the mental office or something. Go ahead and call the mental office. Go ahead and call them. Have them go to have me go to have them come over here and put me in a straitjacket. Since I'm mentally unstable. But then this is something that you don't know. This is another thing you don't know. The reason why he said that, now this is the part that I didn't tell you. When he constantly, when he constantly kept on nitpicking with me. Now remind you, you dealing with a girl that has a whole lot of responsibilities and then lost their mom. And that thing's still fresh. When Kay kept on nitpicking with me, I got so fed up with it that I had to put him in his place. I didn't cuss at him or nothing like that, but I can't remember what the incident was, but I remember I put him in his place. And I think he's one of them type of men. And yes, he's a man. He's a man older than me. You're going to have men out here that when you stand up for yourself and you open up your mouth and you say what you say out your mouth, they're going to sit there and use that as a grudge. So for him for him doing what he did with nitpicking with me and stuff like that, I stood up for myself and I told him how I felt. And I guess ever since then, when I did that, he held that as a grudge. And ever since then, he been telling all the employees to not hire me. And told them that, yeah, I'm a sweet girl, but I'm mentally unstable. And I said to myself, so that's why with all these places that I applied at, none of these people hired me because they was going by what he was saying. My advice to y'all with me telling this story is watch out for messy people. Like, watch out for messy people, because people nowadays, people are messy. You don't know what a person can say or what a person can do. And you have to remember, at that time, I was very vulnerable. Very vulnerable. I had just lost my mom at that time. And the mess is still fresh to this day. But it's just that it's a lot of lessons I'm learning, and I'm teaching y'all some lessons, because it hurt me when I found that out today. That's why when I went, hey, how you doing? That's why when I went into, oh Lord, is that a bug? Like it was a bug that flew up. I don't know what's with all these bugs. But anyway, but that's why when I went into certain labs and stuff like that today, I really didn't talk, because well, it's something else I'm going through, but I don't want to talk about it right now because it's something, that I don't want to put on blast. But that was one of the things that that I'm going through right now, and it just made me realize that altogether maybe it wasn't meant for me to go back to that job. I mean, I'm looking at it like that, even though he was real messy for saying what he said, because I didn't think I was mentally unstable. I mean, because if you keep on poking the bear, and you keep on nitpicking with people, you're gonna get people to a breaking point of making them get to a point of losing it. You know what I'm saying? So not right now, Sunflower. Not right now. But it was mind boggling for me today, after finding that out, and then having, all this other stuff that happened to me. But that's my story. Am I hurt that this happened to me? Somewhat. I'm hurt. But is it going to make me stronger at the end of the day? Yes, because this is my story. And I'm not going to lie. Today, I didn't know if I wanted to go live. I didn't know if I wanted to go live, because when you trying to, and we just might as well be real and just be, I'm going to just be me right now and just not fake with y'all. When you're going through a journey, wait a minute, the fact you found out so long after the fact would have, yep. But I'm going to just keep it a buck with y'all right now. Right now, I'm going through a cycle in my life that I'm trying to make things better for me and my family. And by me being part of YouTube has really opened up my eyes and realized that I opened up a better opportunity for me. And it's been a lot of bumps in the roads. Not on YouTube, but in real life. And it's been very competitive for me as of lately. I've been dealing with a lot of things in my life, and it's really hard. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's been really hard, and I've been trying to keep myself in afloat. But I really think that deep down inside, everyone is not on your team. How you sing, go they smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place and backstab you. It's sad. But there are people plotting. Yep. Me too. And like I said, part of me did not want to do this live. I didn't. I really didn't. But I know it's a lot of people that's probably on here that's probably going through the same thing, but they don't have enough courage to speak out the way that I'm speaking out today. You know, um, I love what I do on YouTube because the whole purpose of me doing YouTube is to help people. And I don't know by me, I don't know by me telling this story to you will help you, but hopefully it can help a person that's out there that needs to hear this. Because to be honest with you, I love going live. But part of me was kind of embarrassed to go live today because of what I'm going through. Because I didn't know how everybody was going to react. I didn't know how would y'all take me, or if a person is going to come out their face and be like, oh gosh, she actually helping people. How's she supposed to help people and she got these problems? But to be honest with you, even though that I might have these problems, but people that help people, they have problems too. They just leave them confidential. Me being me right now and being honest is more real that you can get. You know? And I think by me being this way and telling you my story is real. It's real that you can get. So if I'm boring y'all with this, I'm sorry. But I just wanted to say my story and say that you're not alone. I'm still learning life just like you learning life, but the only difference is that if I tell you my personal experiences, and if I can give you the best advice that I can give you, I will. Hey, hon. How you doing? I checked out your page. I saw one of your stories today. You missed my whole thing almost. I'm gonna check some more of your stuff out. But yeah, but oh, you're very welcome, sweetie. I hope I didn't bore you. But next live, we're gonna have a better live. But I just felt like I needed to say my story because somebody out there probably might be going through the same thing, but I never thought, I never thought that a person would do that to another person like that. Just bash their name in the mud, and when you trying to find employment, they just want to sit there and just throw you underneath the mud, honey. And when I say he did that to me. But, like I said, it's a lesson learned. But I think once everything falls into place, everything's going to get better. And I'm not going to lie either. When I was in my space earlier today, because I was in my space, and I was praying to God, you know, and I was about to quit. I was seriously about to quit. I was about to quit this and quit everything. But then when I took the time out to listen to Stick to It and listen to Brit Family of Fun, I said to myself, I can't quit. And besides knowing them two, they wouldn't let me quit. They would not let me quit at all. They probably be like, here, or Pretty Heart, you better not. And I just decided to myself, I can't quit. Because if I quit, I gave up on my kids. But I'm not gonna lie, it's a struggle. It really is. You're welcome, baby. Even though I was kind of dry on your live, on your live earlier. You're welcome. But yeah, guys, just know it's messy people out here. It is. And like I always be saying, even though I came out my mouth and just admitted to y'all that at some point, I was thinking at some point I was gonna quit, but I told myself I can't quit because if I do, I gave up on something that I love to do, and then not only that, I would have been giving up on my family, But it was it was a hard day today, but I mean, at least you know what I'm saying, that you learned a lesson. And you gotta learn a lot of lessons in life, and I know I did. I know, sweetie. Ugh, I know. I mean, I know. But people don't want to see people dry. And me, I'm not going to say that I'm really being dry, but I guess you can say that I'm trying to be me, the authentic me, no fake me, because I don't like showing no fakeness. I really don't. But then at the same time, you don't want to put all your business out there because you want to keep it at least in imagination. But this that I'm telling you the story of, I actually went through this. And this was during the stage of me just losing my mother. And then you're gonna have people nitpick with you and just do everything. Yeah. And then to have someone throw your name in the mud like that and say that, to say that you mentally unstable, that hurt me because, oh my God, like, people really, I mean, I was sitting there thinking up to myself, okay, so when a person is going through something, then they standing up to you, you think that a person is mentally unstable? I thought the definition of mentally unstable is when you doing crazy stuff. That's my definition of mentally unstable. But if you sitting there standing up for yourself and you letting the person know how much, and excuse my French, I don't like to cuss so much on live because we trying to keep this mild. But we're gonna keep it real. So for a person standing up for themselves and letting you know that they not gonna put up with your shit no more, and they getting tired of you getting nitpicked with them, that makes you mentally unstable. I think of that as you being honest, being raw, and getting tired of a person's shit. That's not mentally unstable. That's just you getting tired of somebody's stuff. Getting tired of people's shit. And that's what happened to me. I got tired of people's stuff. And especially if you lose a parent, if you lose a loved one, it's gonna make you. I got a feeling me and you are gonna be bumping heads a lot. Me and you gonna be bumping heads a lot because you gonna be saying stuff to me like my girlfriend be doing to me. But you right though. You right. But when my girlfriend was telling me this, I don't want to say this on live because I don't want to get banned. But I made a comment about him, and I used to say this about him when I was at the job, and me and her would be dying laughing. And then she would be sitting there saying, pretty, I can't with you. And I be always saying stuff like, well, it's not my fault that he does. I don't, like I said, I don't want to say what I said to her because I might get banned. So we trying to keep it neutral as much as possible. But because yeah, because he it made me so mad when I had found out, what he did. You know what I'm saying? Because I trusted him. At that time I did. I trusted him. But it's just a lesson learned that you can't trust everybody. It's just a lesson learned. And you just have to keep pushing and do what you need to do. And that's what I'm determined to do. But the reason why I said the topic was messy, because people are messy out here in these streets. And they're going to try to find some type of way to bring you down and to make you feel like crap. And also, like, I don't want to mess up your name, honey. La Lafanta, Lafeta, Lafeta. But just like what Lafeta said, you got to keep going. Even though it's hard, you got to keep going, because if you give up, you're going to have to start all over again from scratch. And I have made it this far, and there's no point in me quitting now, you know. But it's just been, like I told my girlfriend, it's just been one brick wall after another. Hey, just curious. You have a platform. Why not tell your story there? Um, I don't know. I mean, I should. I should. But I guess part of me is afraid to, I guess. I guess part of me is afraid to. Because in due time, I was going to tell you more about my story, but I just I just don't want to put it all out there. I'm just like Ryan. I just don't want to put everything out there. But my story is more deeper than what I'm going through now. Oh. Oh, that's why. You still should do it though. Girl, you still should say it. You still should say your story. That's just my opinion. I still think you should tell your story, even though people might get mad, because everybody gonna get mad about everything that you do anyway. That's how I've been looking at it too. Okay, that's fine. Shoot. Shoot. I was just about to ask you, do you want us to collab? Oh, Lord, I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry, guys. Well, that's why I said me and you should collab. But yeah, child, people are so messy. Ooh, I did not realize people be so messy on this planet like that. Especially when you going through the time of your life when the mourning of your mom. Ooh, when you mourning about your mother and still going through emotions. Ooh, I did not know people would be that messy. Lord have mercy. And then you supposed to be your big grown age, and you sitting there being messy like that, like a girl. Now I know some of y'all laughing what I just said. Child, in your big grown age. And then you a man. That's the worst. You are a grown man that's older than me, but you messy as can be. Girl, you might as well go ahead and dress him up as a girl. Boo. Really? Right. Big of age. I'm sorry, you're big of age. You being that messy and walking around, splattering me around, and talking about I'm unstable, but then you sitting there acting like a girl. You know, you just had to come at the time when the story had ended. Stick it to it. Stick it to it. You had to come at the end. Now here go another guy being messy. It's like I'm just playing. I stick to it. I get that. That's what I'm saying. He was trying to say that I was. That's the thing that makes me laugh a little bit. He was sitting there saying that. I know. I'm just playing with you. I'm just playing with you. It's all love in here. But he was trying to say that I was unstable. But how you unstable and you're grieving? Especially especially when you lost your mom. Like I didn't think that by you grieving that's I didn't think that you know what I'm saying that was unstable. I didn't think that. Maybe we should put that as a definition that a person's grieving, they unstable. I know. I know. I know. It mess is crazy. Stick to it. I was just telling the people in here, you might get on my case about this, but I was telling the people in here that I was thinking about quitting. But when I took the time out to look at your live, you inspired me. Facts, big facts. But at that time they didn't do that. I know, stick to it. I know. I know. High budget. How you doing, budget? Mm. Right. They should. But they didn't at that time. At that time, they didn't. And most definitely it wasn't him either. He wasn't, because I thought he was at that time. But when I was informed about the truth about why I didn't get those job opportunities, it was because of the fact that he was telling the employees, the people that worked in those departments. Okay. Did you get my email? Cause I emailed you earlier today. I don't know if you had got my email or not. But yeah, but it was. It was. It was horrible to the point that, like I told you, I gave them my 2 weeks when I had left. And okay. And then the other, I don't know if you had looked underneath the email, but also my contact information is underneath there too. So, but but yeah, it was horrible at that time. It was very horrible. Um, it was horrible to the point, like I said, because it was just so much that I was going through at the time. Because during that week, because it was the week I would never forget it. It was January 23rd when she died. I can send it to you. I can send it to you. Matter of fact, hold on. My email is in my it's on my page. It's on my page. My email's on my page. Um but it was on the 23rd of January. That's when my mother had passed. Then I was out. No, I was talking. No, I was talking. I could give you I could give you my email, but I was talking about sticking to it. But I could send you my email too, and my information as well too, and we could talk. We could chop it up. Yeah, she passed away January 23rd, 2023. So she's been gone for about 2 years. And during that time frame, that's when I was working at the company that I was working at before. And that's when all the stuff that was taking place, happened during that time frame. And ever since then, stuff wasn't the same. And then a girlfriend of mine that still worked for that same company was just trying to inform me to let me know why the jobs that I had applied for within that company. Thank you. Um, that I applied for certain jobs and I wasn't able to get into it. And come to find out, the reason why I didn't get those positions at different locations, because the last place when I worked at, they had to use that person, whatever management is still at that location. Thank you. Whatever locations that you used to work at, they will use that manager, whatever manager that's left, as a reference because you used to work for that company. Because if it's no more management that's in that location that you was at, they will use the last one that was there. And so those people were called to that company, and he would let them know that I was a sweet person, but I was mentally unstable. And so when he told those people that made them think that, well, damn, we're not going to have her working with us. You know what I'm saying? So, right, exactly. That's what happened. Right, that's what happened. That's what he did. And then it got every location that I applied at, he told them that. Yep, that's what he did. And I had just and my girlfriend, she had said, because she still worked for the company, but she just works at a further location and she's a supervisor. Right. So that's what he did. Mm-hmm. And now, mm-hmm. And now I can't even, because even if I wanted to go back and work for that company again, they have me in the system as a rehire, but they not going to hire me because of him, because of what he said. You know what I'm saying? And that messes me up. And then the bad thing about it is, is that that company is underneath the government. Mm-hmm. And that job that I was trying to go back to it's a company that's underneath the government. So basically, by him, telling those employers that or whatever, he basically he basically made it to the point that I won't be able to get back into that company anymore if I wanted to. So, but that's why I said it's a lesson learned. And yep, he sure did. Yep, he sure did. But I mean, I have a job. I have a job. Well, technically, I have two jobs now. I mean, it's not like a government job, but it's a job. Um, One of them I'm supposed to be starting this coming week, and the other one I'm supposed to start April the 8th. And then I have another job that I'm supposed to start in September. I sure didn't. And it's a lot of people that has caused a lot of pain. A lot of pain. And I just pushed them people out of my life just recently. And has it been difficult for me to do that? No, it hasn't. But every day when I take someone out of my life, it seems like I'm becoming more stronger than ever. Me neither. Me neither. It's a mhm. That's true. So yeah, so it's been I mean, I feel better that I went live. I do feel better, but at the same time, I know, I know, I know I'm gonna be okay. It's just I'm just going through some rough patches at the moment and trying my best to not let them break me, man. For real. That's true. Oh man, I am so happy that I did not break down crying, baby. I know, I know. Hey, coach, how you doing, coach? Coach, coach. I know, I know, I know. But like I be always telling people all the time that I wish my mama was here. I be wishing every day that she's here, you know. Cause man, it's mm, mm, mm. Yeah, that's how I felt at one point because I had lost my mother at the age of 40. And at one point, um, hey James, at one point I felt like I was in a black hole. I would, but mm, now stick, you hit a nerve. I don't know why you had to hit a nerve. But yeah, but at one point I felt like I was in a hole at one point, but I got myself out the hole. But I guess in a way, it kind of feels like in a way that I'm about to seep back in the hole, but I'm just trying to find my way to get out of it again. So I won't feel like that, you know. Okay, coach. Yeah, man. Yep, 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 yep. Who look up? Look up where? Up in the sky? What you mean look up? Oh, yeah, I see it. I will. What did I say? Okay. Okay, I thought I missed a comment because I was sitting there looking at them. I know y'all do. I know y'all do. But I'm just real stubborn. I'm a stubborn person. But I just need to learn to stop being so stubborn. You know, Coach did. Coach worked out. That's not even a question or a thought. She had worked out this morning, or was it this afternoon? I think, because I think she normally do her workouts in the evening, so she probably did it today. Thank you, I appreciate that. How do you say your? Is it Lavanta? Is that how you say Lavanta? Yeah, I don't. I really don't. I really don't. I really do not. Lafitte. Oh, okay, Lafitte. Okay, Lafitte. Lafitte. Okay. I'm just gonna say Lafitte. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm gonna say Lafitte. Just like I be pronouncing somebody else's name wrong and not just be shortening it. Cause I don't like to mess it up. I don't like butchering people's names. Cause in a lot of ways it's rude. Sorry guys, I ain't wanna be all yarning and stuff. It is a pretty name. That's very a pretty name. It's a very nice name. But other than that, guys, what y'all gonna be doing for the evening? Cause I know it's like about to be 10 o'clock. Oh, okay. Yeah, I be trying not to offend people. I mean, that's just me. I don't like to offend people. I like to get along with everybody and have a peaceful moment and have a peaceful life and keep my life at peace. Oh, bad. Cool. I went to Chicago when I was younger, but I haven't been back to Chicago since I was younger. I don't like being sad either. I don't like being sad at all. It's just that I don't like being sad, period. I really don't. I just been having a lot of bumps in the daggone roads like for the past month. And it's like, ugh, when is this thing gonna end? Like I've been having a lot of bumps in the road. Like, oof, it's been a lot. It's been a lot with me. Cause I've been through, to be honest with you. Right, right. Because with this stuff that I'm telling you, I've been through far worse stuff than this. But I think, and this is my thing, and this is not me talking sad, but I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, when when you trying to get your life right, because like for example, I'm trying to progress with trying to do things better. Because to be honest with you, with you being with YouTube and being in a community and you have loving people, they're gonna have you have a different mind perspective and thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm doing is making my life better by helping people and by me helping people, helping myself. Right. But yeah, but I'm trying to make stuff better for me. I mean, I want to do better for my family and for myself and help people out and try to make a goal. Yeah, I heard that Chicago is really nice because I haven't been to Chicago in a minute. Coffee and cream, you live in Virginia? in Virginia? What part? I know, but what part of Virginia? Oh, babe. Oh, wow. Really? Okay. I will. I will. It's just raining right now. It's just raining right now. It's not gonna always rain forever. It's pouring at the moment. It's just pouring. Yep, it's just pouring. I know blessings gonna come my way. I just have to go through a lot of brick walls. That's all it is. You just want them brick walls to break down. That is true. That is true. Oh, but if you curious of how my mother looks, this is her. If y'all seen the picture, if y'all haven't, let me see. That's my mom. And that was me. Ugh. This was me. And this was her when she was a baby. And this was her and her dad. Yep. This was her and her mom. And this was her right there. Yep. That was my mother. Yeah. Everybody keeps on saying that I look just like her. Um, but yeah. Well, her birthday's coming up on the 13th, so her birthday is going to be next week. Um, thank you. Um, thank you. Um, her birthday is going to be July 13th of this month, and then that's when my daughter's birthday is coming up. Hers is going to be July 17th. My mother, she would have been um it's been 2 years, so she would have been 71 if she was still here, but she passed away at the age of 68. And she had passed away from SIPC. It's like a blood disease that go through your bloodstream. And she already had asthma, but I think by that blood disorder going through her bloodstream and everything, it caused her to have trouble breathing because she already had asthma. And we didn't find that out until they did the autopsy of her um when she had died. So, but yeah, that's what had happened. Yep. Mhm. Yep, she had died from that. And the last time that I had saw her, because at first I didn't know what the problem was at the time, but when she was with us at the time before she went to the hospital, I had spoken with her, and I didn't know what that was because it sounded like she was trying so hard to talk, and we didn't know what it was, But I know when the last time I spoke to her, and she was having that trouble breathing, she came out her mouth and she said that mhm, um well, 2 years ago I wouldn't have been able to talk to you about it because I would have broke down and cried. Yes, it was an infection in the bloodstream. Yeah. hmm Um, but I know that her last words that she told me before she went to the hospital, she said um that she loved me and she appreciated me. And I always hold that to my heart that she said that, you know. At first when she did it, it when she said that to me, I had a feeling that I had a feeling that she was about to leave, but I didn't want to accept the fact that she was about to leave, if that makes sense. I didn't want to tell my dad that I had that feeling that she was about to leave because I didn't want my dad to get mad at me. But I had a feeling that she was about to leave, but I just didn't want to tell him because the way she was, winding down, the way she was talking to me, and she was winding down and everything, and she was already dealing with a lot of stuff, and she was in pain. But I just never told my dad that I had this feeling she was about to leave. But I knew in the back of my mind that she was going to leave me. But I just didn't want to see the reality of she was leaving, if that makes sense. But I also said to myself that my mother, she gonna fight this. She gonna come back. She's gonna come back. But then another part of me felt like she's not because she was tired. And my dad, he was, fussing at her, telling her, like, you can't be doing this. You got to come back, you know. But I think once she got into that ambulance and they took her to the hospital, part of me was sitting there saying to myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's doing good. He's doing good. He has his moments. He don't cry about it, but he misses her because they was together for about 50 years. They was together for 50 years. Um they was together for a long time before I came into the picture. They was together ever since high school. Um but he loved her more than life itself. And he is. He is. He won't tell me. And I don't blame him. Just like I don't tell him when I'm crying. I don't ever tell my dad when I'm crying. Yep, he is. He is. But I don't ever tell my dad that I'm crying because I don't want him to think that I'm still stuck on my mom. And especially with everything that I'm going through right now. So I didn't want to cry on here. But, you know. I'm sorry, guys. I did not mean to cry on here. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Mm-mm-mm. Oh boy. I'm sorry, guys. Ooh. I miss my mom every day. It's not a day that don't go by that I don't miss her. But I always remember that day when my mom said that she appreciated me. And I appreciate her. She was a beautiful soul. And I know I saw your story, coach. Oh God. I saw that story. That story. Girl, oh my God. You had me crying up a storm. And my kids are here, but at the same time, I know. I had my mom in my life for 40 years of my life. 40 years. And they were beautiful years. They were beautiful years. But but when I keep on thinking about everything, I feel like that it was her time to leave because she was just tired. Like she was very tired, and I think the other reason why she left because I think she really, and I don't know if this is really true or not, but I really think, yeah, she's not in pain no more. And then it makes me feel like she felt like that I had enough power. I know I did. I just don't like showing my emotions. I know I need to let it out, but I just don't like showing my emotions too much. I try not to. Cause when I be crying a whole lot, I just become like a little baby. But I've been holding it in for like maybe about a year. I mean, I cried at her funeral, but I think the actual cry, I just never did it because I've just been trying to stay strong for my kids. I've been trying to stay strong for my family and for my kids. But I knew eventually it was going to come out. I just didn't know when. I know. I feel like a big baby right now after doing it. Oh, God. But yeah, that was my mommy. That was my mommy. That's my baby. That was my baby. And she was the one that helped me with the kids and everything. Um, thank you, coach. Thank you. It was one thing that I remember about my mom that I would never forget. She my mother, she was very nurturing, and she had a tendency of, she used to ask me where I was going, and I used to always be a little snappy and be like, why you want to know where I'm going all the time? And then she'd be like, because I want to know. And I used to get mad at that all the time when my mom used to do that. And now, shut up, Stick. I ain't listening to you. Shut up, brother, because you not going to be bullying me around. But now, when my mom used to do that to me, now I do that to my kids. I sit there and be asking them where they going, who they with. But I used to do that. Um, I used to do that. Um, I used to do that with her, but now she used to do that with me. But now I'm doing that with my kids. And I said to myself, aha, that's what you get, kid, because you did that to your mother. So now your kid's doing it to you. Now they don't want to tell you whatever. And that be having me going. I be like, now I'm acting just like her. And that's another side of her that I get by being a mom. But I do miss her though. I miss her a whole lot. It's not a day that goes by that I don't miss her. What you say? Oh my god. Oh man. Mm-mm-mm. CNC, you funny. You are funny. Yeah, but yeah, but I'm gonna be fine. It's just going through a whole bunch of bumps in the roads at the moment, and just trying to stay steady. Hey, I thought everybody be going to a club right now or something. Everybody quiet on this Friday night. Ain't it Friday today? Or was it Saturday? Yeah, today's Friday. Okay. I thought it was Saturday. I'm tripping. But now that I think about it, oh man. But what y'all getting into tonight? Is anybody getting into anything tonight? It's only two people in here. I'm gonna say this to be honest with you. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy because when you lose a parent, a part of your heart is taken with them. That's the best way I can put it. That if that were, I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but if that were to happen, a part of you will be lost with her, and you're not going to be the same. Because to be honest with you, I haven't been the same since she died. Because I'm not going to say that I changed for the worse, but the kid that, even though y'all don't supposed to know my first name, but um the the kid that people are was used to, you might as well say 3 years ago. Oh, I never been through that part. I've been through the parent part, but not the brother. But um, but when you lose a parent, it's like they take a part. They take a part of you with them, and it's going to change you dramatically. Like, okay, like the person that you are. Let me just describe it like this: the way that you are now, happy, go lucky, giggly, all of that, right? But once that happens to you, your whole personality change, but you still the same person, but not as much because you still numb. You still going through that hurt, that pain. That's what it feels like. And during that 2 years that I was going through the changes of losing my mom and everything, I had lost a lot of people because a lot of people were saying that I was being mean and I wasn't the same person and I want this old Kia back, stuff like that. But you also got to remember too that nobody does not want to feel like, you know what I'm saying, hanging out and talking about, intimacy and stuff like that. Nobody wants to talk about that. Your mind is still stuck, you know what I'm saying, of the loss of a parent. And for a person to, be selfish and not think about your feelings during that time, that's not really your friend. Because if a person is your real friend, you know what I'm saying? Uh huh. Right. And people and some people are selfish, and they don't want to think about how much time that you need for grieving. It's just sad. But to lose a parent, girl, that ooh, That hit me like a ton of bricks. Cause you know how we are. We always think that our parents gonna be alive forever. But when that happened to my mother, I was like, oh, that punched me right in the gut. So if my dad were to leave this earth now, honey, like I told who I say this to, I told one of the people that I knew on YouTube. I told them if my dad were to leave this earth right now, I'm sorry, y'all don't take offense. Yes. And to be honest with you, honey, if my dad were to leave this earth right now, I'm sorry. Y'all probably gonna be like, pretty hard, please don't leave. Y'all probably won't hear from me for like a month. I'm sorry. If my dad were to leave this earth right now, y'all would not hear from me for about a month. I'm sorry. Because he's the only parent I have left. And if he leaves, that's gonna make me an orphan. And that's gonna be tough on me. It's gonna be tough. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no siblings except for on my birth side, because originally, not to be putting all my stuff out there, but originally on my adopted side, I don't have any siblings. I'm the only child. But on my birth side, I have two brothers. But me and my two brothers, we don't communicate like that because they boys. So, we don't talk like that. But we love each other, but we just don't talk as much. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but on my adopted side, I'm the only child. Yeah, I was their only child. Yep. So, mhm. And I think that was the other reason why I went on YouTube as well, because not so much because not so much because of the money per se. I mean, of course all of us want money. But I also wanted to buy some time to help people with whatever they going through, and also help me with my grieving process of my mom, because I'm still not over my mom's death. I'm still not over it. I thought I was, and I thought it would have had took me only 2 years to get over it. But what I'm starting to realize is that, oh, okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, so, but yeah, but I've been talking about it. I've been talking about going to grieving counseling, but I just haven't done it yet. I don't know why. Maybe because I really don't want to let out all my emotions. But I think I probably need to go see one, because I'm still kind of hurting inside in a way. And it probably might help for me to go. But I just always put it to the side and think to myself that I'll be okay. I don't need to see no therapist, because I took therapy before, when I was younger, but I don't know why it seems like it's so hard for me to go into therapy to talk to somebody about my mom. I don't know why it's so hard for me to do it. Maybe I should. Because I thought I would try to get over it naturally than me trying to, you know, get over it on my own. True. I'm going to look that up and check that out and go see one. Yeah, because me and my kids, we supposed to have been the ones to go, but with everything happening the way it's happening right now, Lord. But I think I need to do that at some point. I know. I know. I'm trying not to suffer alone. I'm trying not to. I don't want to. But it's really hard though. I ain't going front. Why is it saying one person, two people in here? Is somebody in the bushes? It's me and you in here, but it's another person in here unless they're in the bushes. Oh, really? Now it's saying there's four people in here. Hey, May 41. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better. Make sure you push the like button and subscribe to me. Okay. Oh, you so sweet. Thank you. You so sweet. I knew there was a reason why I picked you to come into the. He always either giving roses or hearts. Oh, she got a rose. Okay, all right. He got a rose. She got a rose. Oh, thank you. You were so sweet. You know what? He said Jesus sandals. You did. Oh, thank you. You know what? Now you putting the sugar on top of it. Really though? No, you good. He said sugar on top and sides. Okay, all right now. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. Mm-mm. Oh man. Well, guys, this has been a very moving, emotional, good live. Thank you. And thank you for the rose and hearts and stuff. Yes. And it was a very moving live tonight. And hopefully the next time we have a live, we're not gonna have no emotional moments. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna talk about some good topics, positive topics. You are such a gentleman. Oh my God. You know what? You gonna end up being my internet boyfriend, okay? You gonna end up being my internet boyfriend, okay? You better stop. You better stop, man. Or else you gonna end up my internet boyfriend. But like I said, he got me going. This has been a wonderful, moving, emotional live, and I enjoyed it. I really did. Yep, me too. I was just about to say that. But I just wanted to say this was a very emotional and moving live. I truly appreciate this. Thank you so much. Um and hopefully the people that was in my live tonight, they will come back cuz this was a very good live tonight. I really appreciate it, and I went over the minute mark. Ooh. So, like I always be telling everybody, love you, and I love you, my hearts. Bye bye.